Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends, the Walmart exclusive Spider-Man 77. Now, I know what many of you are thinking or saying. This is not really in your wheelhouse, and you said you have the Maximum Spider-Man, and that's the only Spider-Man that you need. Well, I got this one, and I threw this one on the order with the G.I. Joe Classified Crystal Ball so I could get free shipping, and I just never cancel it. It came in today, and I said, you know what? I might as well do a review on it, maybe pop on the Maximum Spider-Man's heads. Maybe it makes it look a little bit better because he's kind of weird. Or maybe I'll just be like, this is actually pretty cool. It's from 77. I know not everyone cares about it, but I would say some focus groups probably said, hey, you know what? We'd love to have some of the older movie stuff. Maybe it's just fun. It's gimmicky. It is a Walmart exclusive, which means they're the ones pretty much paying for it. So anyway, here we're going to take a look at it. We can see him right there in his webbing. He comes with like a rope as a web. I remember on the fan stream, Dwight talked about it, saying that, hey, they really used a rope. So we kind of thought that actually be pretty cool to throw on there. On the side, you can see Spider-Man 77, and there you see what he looks like. And over there is another shot from the movie. And then on the back, you can see the actual action figure telling you that it's Marvel Legends. It's inspired by the movie. There's the barcode if you're so interested. This is a Walmart exclusive. I don't even think it was available on Hasbro Pulse, but they were all sold out. They came back in stock once these things started shipping. I know I got mine today, and I know it was in stock. So I will leave a link in the description if you want to see if this is available, ordered online. But I think we've talked a little too much. Let's get into this, but before we do, if you like this type of content, you like when I give you a Marvel Legends, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends. Alright, so he's out of his plastic prison. Now, I normally don't do this. This is the insert of it, and I would assume that this is New York, circa 77. You can clearly see that it's an old-time picture. Again, kind of cool, and again, you could make it, put it there if that's just how you just want to have him kind of setting up behind it, or in front of it, shall I say. So, here's everything that he comes with. Again, not very much. So we'll start with the rope. It is just that. It is a fairly long piece of rope, nothing major, and I'm sure it's something that people are going to complain about, saying that's so cheap. But again, when Dwight was talking about it, he said, hey, you know what? They just used a regular rope, and that was supposed to be the spider webs in the movie for 77, I believe. It's kind of cool they threw that in there. Again, I'm not saying, hey, they give you this accessory. It is amazing, so I don't want to hear anyone saying stuff like that I'm a show by saying that. I'm just saying it's kind of cool that they threw something in like this rather than making just a long plastic web. Speaking of plastic webs, we have a couple white versions. Now this one is kind of open, or not open, but in like a Christmas tree style. Some nice little detail to it. Again, if they were using rope like this is exactly the color that you're going to get. So it's nice that they did it like this rather than the clear, which we see normally with the rest of the Spider-Man stuff, all right? And again, just kind of cool. Something that you can use, especially if you're white sticky tack. And then we have this one here. Same thing. Not too much to it, but it's just something that's kind of thrown in. And every Spider-Man should have stuff like this because they've created it. There's no reason not to give it with every single figure, and we all understand there's a licensing fee and different things like that. All right, he comes with two I can't really call them thrap hands, but two separate hands. All right, a little bit open. This is kind of how I would assume, shooting the web, and he has a device over here. And as you can see, it just has a little bit of webbing marks throughout it. It looks pretty good. It is the same as this one, so the webbing is clearly different than, you know, your classic Spider-Man, but you might not notice. As for the figure, here he is, and you got to say the face sculpt is completely different now. Remember, this is supposed to be a mask, and then it just has these like goggles inside of it. So he has some eyes right there, and you can see this. You can see the shape is the again, it is the shape of Spider-Man. So this is probably the best they could do back in, you know, 77. But looking at it here as an action figure, The webbing looks really good. There's nothing that's really disjointed. I know some people complain about the Maximum Spider-Man having disjointed parts right there, or the webbing. I don't really see it on this one, although it has like little dinks in the head and stuff. That's just kind of weird. But you look at the eyes, and again, no paint rub, no paint overspray. I think that looks pretty nice. You got the nice spider right there. No butterfly joints. That seems crazy. You got a peg in the back, and you have your classic spider on the back right there. As you kind of go down, you can see the nice web lines, which I do think looks good. And then you get to his web shooter, which is right here. Now again, if I've seen the movie, it's been a long time. I don't remember if he had one on either side. I know on the box here, it looks like he has it on the other hand. So I'm assuming that he would have it on both hands. If you know, please let me know in the comments. I don't know why they wouldn't just leave it on there. I don't know why they wouldn't give him both. So maybe he only has it on one. He has the belt here, and I would assume that this is really playing off Batman in his utility belt. So you got a spider web right there. It's kind of decorated in spider webs there, and then you have all these little pouches just wrapping around, same as the Batman utility belt. And then he just has the plain tights going down to the legs, and you can see the nice webbing in here. And I do think it all looks really nice. I mean, there's not too much to do, but the spider looks really good. It is the classic spider I kind of remember as a kid. As for the articulation, oops, you can pop his head off fairly easy. He can look up that far, and then he can look down like that. He has an ab crunch, so he can crunch down, or he can look back like so. All right, nice T-pose right there. He has bicep swivel, pinless double elbows right there, and then obviously his hands are gonna move back and forth. And he is pretty smooth, so I don't really have an issue with him like that. He can turn side to side and has that, again, that weird Marvel Legends cut. So it looks kind of stupid when he turns. At least he has a belt, so it kind of hides it, like it's supposed to be right there. All right, there's his Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, this is a guy that should have ultimate articulation, not just in the Maximum Spider-Man. I mean, G.I. Joe can do it. There's no reason why they shouldn't have drop-down hips, but they don't. Then you have your thigh swivel, double pinless knees. His double pinless knees, and then just ankle rockers. No boot cut, and I gotta say, if you're willing to do this, you should be willing to do a break right here for a boot cut. Spider-Man deserves some really, really good articulation. I definitely don't think this figure has the greatest articulation. All right. Now, quickly, we're going to kind of pop off the hands. And I think this piece does come off. So if you don't want that on, if you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm cool with the Spider-Man, but it's just kind of stupid to have that. You can do that. So here he is. So this is pretty much meant so you can hold the web. Now, my guess is, if we pop this off, it's going to be a tight fit. But I think that we can kind of throw that underneath here. And then see if we can, look at that. You can fit that right underneath there. Then just pull it to where you need it to be. And then you throw the hand right on top of it. And now it looks like he's actually holding it. And he's kind of shooting it. Again, you can pull this all the way. Or at least to hide it a little bit. So there you can kind of make it look like he's like shooting the web and then he's grabbing it. Not the worst look in the way. Not the worst look in the world. All right. And again, these things here are just pretty much meant to, I guess you hang him on the wall or whatever. He can't really do too much with them. All right. Now, as for like standing him, do we have any issues with it standing? This guy should be able to get into some 1-foot poses for sure. So, and if you're new to the channel, like I don't use stands. He's very skinny. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the Marvel Spider-Man figures that I got for my son probably 15 years ago. I don't know if they were actually called Marvel Legends. It's actually from the Spider-Man cartoon. I should bust some of them out. But can we get him kind of... He has very limited... he has limited range of motion. There's no doubt about it. He is not Maximum Spider-Man. We'll just say that right now. Alright. But I can get him on 1 foot. Not really too much of a problem. Can we get him in any, like... God, spider pose. I don't know how well we can do that. As he does not have the greatest articulation. He can look up. So, you can kind of get him... I mean, he looks kind of weird, but let's be honest. He's not the greatest articulation there. But he does work that way. So you can pose them. Again, probably the best poses. And probably watch that movie and you'll know exactly how great a poses you can get it. But let's quickly take a look at some of this stuff here. And let's throw on this other Maximum Spider-Man head that I have. We'll see if it fits. If the neck is too long. So let's say you're like, hey, I ordered this. This is what the Maximum head looks on it. And it actually looks... It doesn't look bad. Now, again, you're not getting a great buck. But maybe you find this on clearance. Everyone knows how Walmart is. And you're like, I have Maximum Spider-Man. I need another Spider-Man just so I can throw that head on it. Well, there you go. It doesn't look bad at all. And then we're going to pop this off. And we know Maximum Spider-Man has a whole bunch of hands. So, we can throw on a hand like this. And again, the webbing is a little different. But it matches up pretty well. I mean, the red is a little bit darker, but you're not going to really notice too much. I have a hard time not thinking that I'm going to do something like this. Let's say you need a thwap hand. Alright? So now, you kind of, again, if you find this one on clearance, I think a lot of people think it's going to be. I don't know if it will be or not. Now you have a nice little thwap hand. So you have a better looking, a more well-known Spider-Man. The belt, now you do what you want with it. Alright? But let's say you're like, I really like that Peter Parker head. I don't think many people like this Peter Parker head. But, pop the Peter Parker head on here. And now you can have Peter Parker kind of just walking around. Maybe he's on top of a building in New York. He took the mask off, right? So, you can kind of do what you want with it. It's not the worst figure in the world. It's not a great Spider-Man. Again, Spider-Man should have amazing articulation because that's how he moves. The same with like Black Widow, right? They should have great articulation. So, there you go. That is Spider-Man 77. There's only so much to say about him. So much to show you. But again, if you want to swap it out, swap out the heads, you can see exactly... I mean, it's much bigger, but I don't think anyone's really going to notice. I didn't notice. Maybe in the picture you looked and you're like, wow, that looked so dumb. But the hands that technically work, they are close enough. So, all right, let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is Spider-Man 77 Walmart exclusive. Honestly, there's not much to this figure. It is a decent looking figure. You can probably find other Spider-Man if you're interested that you want to use that Maximum head on. I was just kind of showing you because I got it. It is nice and it's interesting. I know some people don't feel we need it, and we really don't. But the greatest thing about stuff like toys is if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. It's honestly that simple. Like, you don't have to buy it. But I did buy it. I think it's kind of cool that they're like, hey, you know what? Let's pick up some of the 77 stuff. Some of the weird movies that no one really cared about. Maybe they'll do Captain America. I mean, God knows that was a complete dumpster fire. But who knows? Maybe they'll do it because they're like, hey, let's just kind of do this stuff. McFarlane does this type of stuff. So anyway, there you go. Spider-Man 77, Marvel Legends, if you're interested. But I'm going to get out of here. You spent a lot of time with me, and I definitely appreciate it. But you're like, hey, you know what I need to do next? What you need to do next is take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends review. And if you're wondering why did you say it like that, it's because I completely screwed up. Because I was supposed to say, hey dude, like, have you done other Marvel Legends stuff? Because your stuff is great. Well, that's right up here, and down here will be a playlist of all the other Marvel Legends stuff that I've done. Take care.